Another day, another day for it's a beautiful day for a podcast. It's a beautiful day for a
Mm,
podcast. How my team doing? We got Most in the building,
yes, sir.
Low, Rello,
Yep.
and of course your boy Dizzy. How y'all doing today, man? How y'all doing?
Doing good, you
He's
know.
doing good.
Praise God.
Praise God, praise God. Low, how you feeling?
Chilling.
Chilling,
Yeah.
chilling. Okay. We ain't even gonna waste no time. Because last podcast we was gonna get into it, but I had to tell Most. I said, Most, let's cool it.
That's right.
Cause we're gonna save it for this one.
Ain't wasting no time.
Today we talking about high value men.
Say a lot for the people in the
I
back.
said high value men.
Yes. That's what I like to hear.
Okay. So before we get into it though, I want to ask y'all, what do y'all think is a high value man? What would you define as a high?
Me.
I
So,
love nothing.
Shoot.
I mean, damn, I should have thought about this beforehand. I'm not gonna cap. Don't have an answer at the second, but let me
I
think
got
of one
you.
on the
I got
spot.
you.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
I think, I think it's kind of like making yourself like, I don't know, like being your best self so that you can appeal better to your audience. That sounds kind of weird. Hold on. I'm gonna like reshape that. But like it's like making sure that you're your best you. So like you're like high value on like any market that you're going into. So like for example, if you're going into like the relationship market, you want to make sure you're high value on that market. Or if you're going to the job market, you want to make sure you're high value on that market. So just being the best you that you can be.
Okay, Rella, what you
Okay.
got for us? Yo? What you got for us?
I guess for me, being a high value person, being a high value man, for me, I guess it would come down to like, for me, I feel like, huh, shoot, I don't really have an answer like that completely.
Penis.
Look, shoot.
No, because like, I know what, because like I was kind of following what you were saying, that kind of like how being your best self, because at the same time, like, like you're gonna fail, like, because you can't be that perfect person. So like, it's kind of like being a high value person to me. If I a high value man is knowing that like not everything you can do is gonna be perfect, but you're gonna do
Mm,
what you can do to like
mm.
Well,
you're doing what you can do to like be as good as you can, but you
penis.
know you're not gonna be you're not gonna be perfect at it. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. I can't get the words right.
Okay.
Knowing your self worth.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
You know.
All
Yeah.
right. I say for me, being a high value man is basically like maximizing um your life in general.
Hmm.
Like just everything in your life has a purpose, everything has a meaning for it. Just don't waste time.
Right.
hmm
Not wasting time, maximizing every single thing that you do and just cutting out the BS. That's what I do. That's what I think it
Okay.
is.
I like that definition. That's kind of
But
hard.
fortunately, we uh we got a whole list right here. I looked it up
He got the
before.
sheets.
We got a whole list right here of the basics to high value men. We got some traits. Okay. So we start with number one. I really learned, I never knew this was an actual thing, but we start with number one, being emotionally intelligent.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay, I feel that one because, like, if you're not, bro, especially for men, bro, if you're not emotionally intelligent or like in tune with your emotions, you're just gonna seem like a asshole for real. Like keep it 100. Like all the dudes that we see out here, like who just like are cold. I mean, I guess that's like especially for black men, that's what we're like taught from like a young age. But like
That's what I was
being
gonna say.
right. Like, but like when you're in tune with your emotions, like you're gonna find
As a
that
matter
you're
of
gonna have
fact,
so much power, bruh. Like it's crazy.
Right.
I think this goes into something me and Don were talking about a while ago. It's that overcompensation and not
Mm,
having that
Yes.
fatherly figure in your life because you're taught certain things by your mom, and to not seem soft, you overcompensate for the hardness and like because like
right.
you'll see somebody and they're acting all hard and tough when in reality they probably not like that.
Exactly.
We had talked about that separately. So it's basically them overcompensating and making themselves trying to seem tougher when they're not like that.
Exactly. Like there's the whole thing like, I'm not gonna do that because that's gay.
Right.
Right.
And
I
it'll
hate
be
that so
something.
much, yo.
It'll
I
be
hate
something
that so
so
much.
simple. It will really be something so simple. Like I
So
remember the other day.
simple.
I was with my mom and we were in the store, and I wanted to buy this hoodie, and it was an Adidas hoodie, and with the Adidas logo in the middle of the chest. But it was an all white hoodie, but the logo on the chest was rainbow colored.
Oh
And
no,
I was
that's gay.
like, Mom, I'm gonna grab that hoodie. And she was like, "Oh, you want that one?"
Hey yo.
I was like, yeah, what's the problem? She was like, it's rainbow color. I was like, all right, yeah, what you trying to say? And then when we got home later, her and my sister, they were just chatting, and then they was like, I don't know what they was talking about, but eventually they came to the conclusion that like if you wear something rainbow colored, that's what they said. They said if you wear something rainbow color, if you own something that's rainbow colored, that means you're gay.
They
And I
was in there
said,
gossiping about you, bro.
I was like, what? Like, what are
And
you
what is
talking
with
about?
that shit in black people, bro? That shit'll get on my nerves, man. I got multiple things rainbow colored. That don't mean shit. It's just a fucking piece of clothing.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
What you want me to go out butt ass naked? I'm just wearing a fucking
I
jacket,
have
man.
I have a few experiences like that. I remember one time, like this was like a few years ago. Um, I was looking at pants, and it was these black and gold pants. And well, like, cause like Angela, you can know what pants you kind of know what pants I'm talking about. Do you remember like my black and red joggers that I had, the ones that kind of like barbed wire as a design?
No.
No. All right. Well, I have these pair of joggers, and it's like they're black and red, and they have like this little barbed wire design. But when I was looking at different colors, they had them in black and gold, and I really want the black and gold one.
Okay.
And my mom was like, I don't know about that one because that look a little.
They don't even want to say it though. That's the funny thing. They don't want to say that.
Right.
They never want to say.
Cause
And
like they
then
know
I
that shit
had,
is fucking wrong. That sounds dumb as hell.
and then I had another incident. Not really an incident, but like me and my mom was talking about it because I have two pink hoodies, and we all know the stereotype between men wearing pink.
Pink's manly.
And
For real.
my mom, she was like, I never thought like we would see a day where like men could just like freely wear pink, and I was like, well, I don't care what color I wear.
Never
because-
thought you see a day where men could freely wear pink. Like what? Like when did I don't understand why like colors have to be so specific according to your sexuality or your actual like sex. It's like, yo, it's just a piece of fucking clothing. I could take that shit off when I get home. Like what?
And that's the misconception, though. That's why a lot of men, that results from men overcompensating their being manly and all of that. So they would not wear pink. That's what they do. But like, it's weird because, if like, a big, beefy, burly man wore a pink t-shirt, who's thinking that he's gay?
Because it's a couple of things. It's like number one, like, so does that mean like gay people have to wear certain specific pieces of clothing? Like they can't just wear all black if they wanted to? Like what kind of shit? What kind of shit is that? Like what? And like on top of that, I feel like if you really calling a nigga gay just for wearing a certain piece of clothing, that just shows fragile masculinity. Like that just shows that you and yourself are too fragile to not, that you don't know who you are and you can't wear a piece of clothing because you're afraid of other people seeing you as less than what you are. When in reality, you shouldn't even be worried about that.
That's the
fragile masculinity is something that I love talking about that. Just like as a side topic, I love talking about that because there is so many things like you said earlier. Like a lot of people just hate. A lot of men hate doing certain things because they look at it and they be like, "Oh no, we don't do that." And I'm like, "But who's judging you? Like you're the only person judging yourself to this caliber. Like nobody cares.
Exactly.
Like, and if they do care, that's on them because why are you all up in my business?" Like
that's the thing.
Especially if it doesn't concern you, like
the mind can
because even like I was gonna say go on.
I was just saying, the mind can be a very dangerous enemy. It can work against
Hmm.
yourself. You can think so many things, and like anxiety. But like people will constantly be telling themselves one thing when it's not the case, and it's hard to break out of that cycle. Especially if you have fragile masculinity, you keep telling yourself you gotta do this, this, and that to seem hard. When in reality, first of all, ain't nobody judging you on how tough you are. Ain't nobody give a fuck about that. And on top of that, nobody cares if you wear something or do something. Nobody's watching you 24/7.
Right.
Like,
Like even at my job. Oh, were you about to say something else?
no, I was gonna
My
say
bad.
nothing else.
Oh, cause like even at my job, like cause like when I first started working there, like before I came there, everybody already knew that I was gay, right? Because my friend had told them all like that I was coming into the job. So when I got there, they already knew that. But what they weren't ready for, like I was willing to express myself. I was like one of the first people there who kind of started this whole like free expression thing at work. Because when I got there, like everybody was like all bland. Nobody was like no. Everybody was like so like uptight, and I'm like, bro, like if we about to be working here, like especially me, I'm making the best that I can. So like
Right.
that's why I started dyeing my hair, started going to work like with my red hair. Like, bro, at work, everybody knows I'm that one who dyes their hair, and I don't care, and nobody says nothing to me.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I come in there, I be wearing a whole bunch of different crazy stuff, like, and everybody just like kind of like support me on it. And
Mm.
so I feel like when it comes to that, like, bro, nobody's really against you, especially if you do it with confidence. Nobody's really gonna be against you.
So yeah, it in the end, to be a high value man or a high value person, like you can't have fragile masculinity or like a fragile ego.
Right.
Because if you
Yeah.
don't believe in yourself, ain't nobody else gonna believe in you either.
Right. And
Mm.
it talks about being self-aware, being able to manage yourself, uh, being socially aware, and then managing your relationships. And that's what it talks about.
Okay.
So number two, we have having a purpose.
Mm.
So
Mm.
man has a purpose, and it says the someone who's a good representation of this is James Bond, because everybody loves James Bond. All the women love James Bond. Why do they love James Bond? Because he's never worried about them. He's always focused on something else. He's always focused on one thing. And
Mm.
so, like, and we talked about this last podcast. We talked about the two military men, the one who went to war and the one who stayed home, and how the woman loved the dude who went to war, but the woman didn't like the dude that stayed home
Mm.
because he's focused on a purpose and he's not focused on her. He's worried about something else. She's not his priority. He's not putting her on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And
So like from a relationship aspect, people be sleeping on like having like drives and aspirations in life. Like that shit's really attractive for a man and a woman, bro. Keep it 100. Like if you have a certain purpose or just a certain goal that you want to obtain and you already know that about yourself, when somebody sees that about you, they're gonna be like, damn, he really got himself together. Like,
Hmm.
damn, like he really got his own purpose and he driving towards that shit. I like that. Ooh, I like that. Let me go get me some of that. Like
But
that.
some people feel like they need another like person by their side in order to like
and
Yeah.
see,
get that
that's the
drive. Like
thing. I don't believe that.
that's what they mess up.
Like,
That is a problem. But the thing is, though, we all need people. We do, right? We all need people, but we don't need people for our purpose.
Mm-mm.
you have to be able to be something on your own before you can try and pair up with somebody else that's doing the
Exactly.
same
Mm,
thing. Like,
that's the
they
low.
can't carry you and through life. You can't just tag along onto their purpose. That's not the point. You're supposed to both be doing whatever you want to do, and
Hmm.
kind of the relationship. It's like you're two separate people together
Mm,
instead of one person tagging along with the other, just kind of doing nothing. And I mean, I feel like having a purpose in life. I mean, yeah, it's a high value trait, but that's something that everybody should have regardless. And it's okay to
Yes.
not know what you want to do at some point, but you have to eventually set that goal for yourself. And if you're stuck wondering what the fuck am I gonna do, or you have like no goals at all, you're not even gonna see your own self worth at that point.
Yes.
It's not even that's not even like something somebody should see like in a relationship. You're not gonna see yourself as worthy because
Right.
you feel like you have no purpose, no point, and that can lead to many things.
And
Mhm.
the thing about it is like relationships in general, you know, in a relationship, it's not people think, oh, it's 50-50. One person comes in 50%, other person comes in 50%, then it's a whole thing. That's not how it's supposed to work. How it's really supposed to work, it's supposed to be 100% and 100%, and
Mm-hmm.
then y'all come together. How it's supposed to be is your partner in a relationship isn't supposed to complete you, they're supposed to
Right.
complement you.
Right.
You're
Y'all
supposed
don't.
to, when
Mm-hmm.
and when one person is on their stuff, but the other person isn't, and y'all together,
It
you feel it.
shows.
Yes, it does.
It
100%.
shows
You can
a
see it a
lot,
mile away.
You
especially
definitely
with
feel it.
celebrities too.
Yes,
I mean,
They're a prime
exactly.
example. Yeah, you don't complete each other. You're supposed to be completed and then get together.
And it's like, I really do understand. It's a lot of, especially our generation, it's a lot of us that don't know what we're doing. Okay, I get that. I understand that. If you don't know what you're doing, then try to figure out what you want to do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I mean, also at the same time, even on that topic, real quick, like we're kind of at that age. Like I was learning this like in psych class. Like we're kind of at that age where we don't know what we're doing,
Right.
and so like we're supposed to be taking the time to figure that out.
Yes.
And
We're
and
in our
when I
prime.
read that,
I say we're in our prime of trying to figure out what we're gonna do the rest of our life,
hmm
and
and like
that's fair.
and when I read that, like it kind of like made me think a little bit too, because I was like, all right, because like you said, you kind of like a lot of people think, oh, we're at this age, we should know what we're doing, all this other stuff. But low key,
No.
we really
No.
shouldn't. Like especially like we was talking about this earlier too. Like how some of our friends like they really out there living on their own. Like one of my friends that I was telling y'all about, he moved out of Maryland. He all the way out in Jersey now, like
Hmm.
living on his own. And I'm like, bro, like it makes you think because it's kind of like you see where you're at, you see where you're at, you see where they're at,
But
and you're like, huh,
who's this dude?
um,
Because that's fitting.
Look, tell him to pull through. Like, what's up?
I'll see. Um, but
But he
it
not
makes
gonna see.
you stop playing with me. But it makes you like look for real, because it makes you like look at yourself and look at them. But at the same time, we all really just don't know what we're doing. Like everybody's kind of moving at their own pace, and that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all, but to just be clueless and stay there, that's a bad thing.
Right.
That's when it gets bad, when you don't want to move forward, and there are some people who don't want to move forward.
Right. We know a few people, but that's
Hmm.
besides the point.
Yeah.
That was don't mind me, don't mind me. But like, it's okay to not know what you want to do. It is, because you have the time to figure it out, and if you're not feeling something, then switch it. You know what I'm saying? Don't stay stuck on something because you feel like you have to stay stuck on something. We're at that age we can switch whatever the fuck we want to do. You can switch 20 times, but once you find something that that you really want to do and that you're excited to do, I mean, hopefully you find that, but don't pick something that you feel like you're gonna be struggling with the rest of your life, especially because this is valuable time. We're not gonna get this early age of our 20s back.
Exactly.
So it's really good to figure your shit out now, so that way by the time you reach, 30s or whatever, late 20s, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Fail as many times as need be, but don't just sit there stationary. Don't do that. If you don't know what you want to do, bro, try as many possible things as you can possibly do.
Yeah, try something.
Watch as many YouTube videos as you need to. Read as many books as you need to. Apply to as many jobs as you need to. but just don't sit there stationary, bro. Don't do that. I
Mhm.
beg of you, don't do that because you're wasting time. You're wasting time. And so that was number 2. 3, we got he takes care of himself.
And it's funny. I want to make. I don't know if I already said this, but like, it's funny as we list these traits. These should be things we do in our daily life, regardless of trying to be high value. These are just
That
things
means
that we should
everybody should be
incorporate.
high value.
Right. These are just things that we should incorporate, period. Whether or not you're looking for somebody, I mean, this is some shit that you need just to be successful in life, period.
Exactly.
So, like, these are traits that you should do and take down, regardless of, like, oh, if somebody's looking at you or, like, looking for you, whatever. Like, you know,
Right.
you
Eat
need
well,
to have a purpose.
exercise, keep learning, invest in yourself.
Yes,
People don't do
learning.
that.
Learning is
don't do
definitely a
that.
big part. It's good to learn something new every once in a while or shit, like, often.
Mm-hmm.
You know, pick up something new, a different fucking language. It's nice to know multiple languages or learn a
Yeah.
different language.
Bro,
Yeah.
yo, oh my gosh. That's a totally different conversation because that makes me so mad how like people really look at you crazy for wanting to know like different languages, especially here in America. Like
It's true.
they look at you real stupid for wanting to know like different languages, but knowing different languages is the reason why Sally getting paid 12 times more than Mary.
Even besides that, it's like America wants everybody to know English, but we don't want to ever know anything else besides English.
Never anything else.
Like, it's common for other places in the world to know multiple languages. That's a common thing. But yet America is not like that.
Mhm.
And they try to implement it into school, but like, this shit don't work. Public schools are
it don't
already
work.
bad
It's not the
enough.
same.
It's not the
Because
same.
no, keep going.
Because the fucking kids that are in public schools don't give a fuck about learning Spanish. You can force us to learn Spanish in middle and high school. It's not. Our curriculum is never set up the same way as other countries.
And I was gonna say, when it comes to like the different languages, like the reason why people don't care about it is because they try and start it real late. Because like if you're gonna teach kids other languages, you need to start at like elementary. You don't start in. I mean, you can start it in middle, like how they did us, but like it's like middle school. We only had like Spanish as an option, and then come high
Right.
school, we have all these different options. But like if you already started with Spanish, you're gonna keep on going with Spanish, and like that was my thing with high school. Like once you started one, you kind of couldn't like divert off that you couldn't divert off of that path. You
I
kind of had to
did.
keep on
But it
going.
was
but like,
harder.
but the thing about what I'll say about that is like, I mean, you could easily say like, don't don't you know what I'm saying, you don't just teach them one language in like elementary school, but like one like a lot of elementary kids don't really know like what they want to learn. Like Japanese is a very hard language to learn off rip. And to teach kids that, I mean, that's pretty hard. That's
Yeah.
one. But two, it's also like, regardless of what you were taught when you were younger, because I kind of started learning at like, second grade, but like it was very minimal. But as like when you get to middle school, by the time you hit middle school, nobody remembers it. So I mean, literally
Well, yeah,
everything
because it
that
has to
you
be a
learn
constant thing.
was irrelevant. Right, exactly. But I kind of disagree with the fact that you should give kids like multiple at least for now. I disagree with the fact that you should give them multiple options. And my reasoning for saying this is because, and this is from personal experience, most of the time if there's like somebody that I'm talking to who doesn't know English, most of the time they know Spanish. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to like, speak any other language, but I mean, I think it's very intentional if you do learn Spanish because there's a better chance that you're going to find somebody who would speak Spanish
I
than
mean,
something else.
that's a whole nother topic. Oh my god, see, that's a whole nother topic because,
Right.
bro, because like the more he's saying, because like I don't disagree with what he's saying. when it comes to like learning Spanish first, because I totally agree I really agree with that. Like I feel like you should learn Spanish first before diverting off. But I was just saying like they kind of like teach it to you, and then from there it's kind of like they kind of like just like keep you in there without like letting you kind of, or it was like in our school system they kept you in there without letting you kind of like see what else there was to offer, because
I
like
mean,
at our school, what you want to say?
so I agree with Dom, and I understand what you're saying too. But the thing about it is, by the time they reached middle school and these kids were learning it, because it wasn't the first time I had learned Spanish. I had a cousin teach me from a young age, so sitting in that class was actually kind of boring. But it's like most of them don't even give the energy to learn the language. Like they don't take into account the pronunciation. I mean, they don't even give a fuck about their normal classes. They just see Spanish as another dumbass class they gotta take, and they don't ever put in effort. That's the thing. The difference between our schools and other country schools. Most kids these days don't like to put in effort. Albeit I was one of them too, so I'm not gonna cap. I definitely did the shit I had to do, but like come time for like, let's say projects or like presenting or doing anything that had to show like your progress of learning that language or in any class really, most kids didn't care. And
Mm.
because I remember all throughout fucking middle school and high school, both of my teachers, like, people didn't give a fuck about that class. They would disrespect the teacher in fucking high school. If you remember, Terrell, that was the same teacher that got fucking trampled in the fucking I forgot what happened.
I,
It was like they were
I remember that now because it was a fight going
yeah,
on. She got caught up. She got caught up
they were
in
disrespecting
the
her.
wave.
But yeah, I was cool with her. She was actually
We
really
all were.
nice.
We all were, yo.
Like
We
she was a
all
cool
were.
ass teacher, but nobody ever wanted to give it like the class a chance because they were always like, oh, I don't want to be here, I don't want to take this. They had that mentality, but it's like if we started from like a younger age, I'm not saying it would help, but it, it's a lot easier to make an impression on a younger kid than it is somebody in high school that already
Yeah.
has clocked out and doesn't care.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this is a whole different topic, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But a lot of the reasoning for like why people don't care, and they lose the enthusiasm and all that, is because they're just doing it for a grade, a letter.
Oh yeah, oh
Mm.
yeah,
That's it.
definitely. And some of them don't even give a fuck about that.
Exactly. We're not going to get too in depth about that, but that's a whole different situation.
Yeah,
But that it's just for a grade. That's
yeah,
all it is. Percentage point. But so that was number 3. So
yeah.
number 4 and number 5 are very similar. We have for number 4, he has high self-esteem, and number 5, he generates his own self-esteem.
Again,
Mm.
a trait you should have regardless. Now that trait is a little bit
That
harder for
that
some
that
people to
one,
catch on,
yeah, that one's a
Yeah, it's
bit
hard.
harder.
It's hard.
It is hard.
but it's still something you should have regardless.
It is
Yeah, I
hard.
think
Um,
it,
Go ahead,
but
Mo.
it comes with time for real. Cause like that's something I
Yeah,
still
mm,
struggle with right now. Like, I mean, like from a young age, we're taught to like uh our like build our self-esteem based on like how other people see us and not how we see ourselves. So like we rely on, and from like a young age we rely on like validation from others, from our peers, from the opposite sex,
mm-hmm.
um
Mm.
from our parents, from adults. So what needs to happen is that when you grow up and then when you continue to grow as a human being, you need to realize that your self-worth and your self-love is all that matters. And that sounds easy, but that's hard as fuck to do. I'm not even gonna cap. That shit is hard.
it's
Yes,
so hard, bro.
So
that's something a
Because
lot of people, especially our age, struggle with nowadays. It's really tough, and
mm,
it's more
and a
common
lot of
to
people don't want to
see.
admit it.
Yeah,
right.
some don't want to admit it, and some do. But it's more common to see people struggling with self worth than it is to see somebody with all that shit figured out in the end. Because like you said, that's just something that has to come with growth. It's not something that we realize right away. You know, in high school and middle school and elementary, you don't really pay attention to shit like this. You know, we don't start realizing it till now, and shit. Some people still haven't realized it that are our
It's
age and have no clue.
it's crazy because what self-esteem in general, like, you know, when I talk to people, they have this assumption about me that like I'm just overly confident or something like that. Like I'll act that
Yeah,
way.
because of the way you exert yourself, even though that may not actually be true.
Exactly. And like I'll be like, I don't know why you think this about me, but deep down inside, like the hamster, my brain is panicking like every single second of the day. Like I'm going crazy. But like I'm a walking wreck right now. Like my brain is on 100 right now.
Keep your head
But
up, King.
it's just like, you know, self-esteem, it takes a lot of healing, a lot of time. You got to dig through some of your past issues, and you got to dig mad deep. You
Mhm.
do.
Mhm.
You have to, like, I'm talking deep.
I
Yeah,
know,
over time. Yeah,
I know, like for me, what was you gonna say?
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I know for me, a lot of my self-esteem came from like me not dressing well, and just like a lot, and just like facial appearance. And so like it really wasn't until I want to say like it wasn't until like 11th grade, and like a little bit after I had came out, when like I started like finding myself, like how I wanted to dress, how I wanted to talk, all the other stuff. That's when I started my self-esteem journey, and like started upping my self-esteem. So
And like,
it,
you know,
it,
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say because like it's hard, like because like you were saying, it's hard.
Yeah.
Like you have
Rough.
you kind of have to find yourself first.
Right.
You
Yes.
do. You do have
It's
to,
that
bruh.
journey.
Listen,
Mhm.
I'll
Like,
tell you one thing: dressing well, it helps. But a whole lot of things help that. Dressing well, that helps. Eating right, that helps. Because when you look good,
That
feel good, you play good. So if you walking around sloppy, you got a hole in your pants or something like that. You got a hole in your socks. You know you got a hole in your underwear, but nobody can see it. But you know you got that. The creases is all in your Air Force Ones, but you leaving out the house like you the man. That's not, it don't work that way. Ain't brush your teeth. Yeah.
See, though, look
Ain't brush your hair.
to
Ain't
that.
put the deodorant on.
So like I agree with like some like hygiene. Oh yes, please make sure you're up on the
hygiene
hygiene.
isn't something that should be high value, nigga. That's just something you need to do,
that's
period.
something that you need to be
You
doing
just
every
nasty
Hey
if you
day.
don't
yo,
fucking, bro. That's not, bro. That's not high value. That's just you normally taking care of your body. If you can't do that, boy, don't walk out the house. Stay
but
home.
like I agree with stuff like that. But like when it comes to like I don't know like what you wear, in my opinion I feel like you shouldn't have to like compare yourself to like society standards or what society wants you to be like. One of the best examples that I can give is just like how people see black men and like how they expect black men to dress. Like your general stereotype, like you're wearing skinny jeans, I don't know, with some
I ain't
Jordans.
wearing no skinny jeans.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like stuff like that, but
They
like
got the skinny jeans, motherfucking the shirts, the bubble coats, yo.
right, the bubble coats.
Oh
You feel
man,
the New Balances,
they got a
the
Gucci. They
990s. You
got the
feel what I'm
Gucci
saying?
belt on.
Always
But like,
gotta
Motherfucking,
have the
they got
Gucci
the
belt,
Nike
show.
boots,
Always
yo.
gotta have the
right,
Gucci belt.
You know you
but
gotta have
like
the
I
Nike
don't know.
boots.
For me, it's just like I feel like if you want to have your own self esteem, you gotta build your own style that like separates yourself
Your own
from everybody else.
swagger, right?
Even if it's like sort of similar to what the society standards are, I feel like it's better if you create your own originality or like
Right. Do
have your own
something original.
originality.
Exactly. Don't like listen, you don't have to, fit what other people do. Like you don't gotta like dress like you're going on a job interview every single second of the day. But if you go
Yeah.
into the grocery store, bro, look presentable at least. Don't go out like you just rolled out of bed, ain't brushing no teeth, brush no hair. At least look presentable. Just in case if something happens, if you get an opportunity or something, you see a chick at the store or whatever,
Hey, bro,
you
don't-
at least you have a fighting chance.
A fighting
Okay?
chance.
At least you have a fighting
Nah,
hey,
chance.
but don't sleep on sweatpants. So.
Don't you can wear
Nah,
sweatpants, but make it
because
look straight, not with no holes in the bottom of them, and they looking dingy.
nah, because freshman year, like what I used to do sometimes because I had like a 9 to 9:50. Um, sometimes I didn't even want to dress up. Like what I would do, I would at least like wash up, get myself presentable. But like I would wear basic like basic lounge pants and a hoodie and some slides. But at least in wearing that, I would still look presentable. Like I wouldn't just come out. I wouldn't come out wearing no like I have a bunch of different lounge pants. I wouldn't come out wearing like my family got lounge pants and nothing like nah. I come out wearing like a solid color set of lounge pants, a nice hoodie, some slides and all that, and keep on going with my day and go to my 9:50. But at least like I'm still being presentable. At least I'm not coming out looking like you said, literally just rolled out of bed and just came straight on over to class. Like, nah.
Again, bro, this ain't something that should be high value. This is just something you should do. Just
Basically.
So I mean, listen, some people, especially in college, I'm trying to tell you, some people in college they don't even know basic stuff like that. Some people don't even know how to iron their own clothes.
They don't.
God.
They don't. And that's a whole nother topic too, because there's a lot of people that don't have independence. But and another thing, bro, working out is very important. Working out, I promise you, can be huge.
I've been lacking.
Can. It's very and
I-
the thing about that, working out is extremely hard. But if you do it and you feel consistent and you feel and witness results, bro, I'm telling you, your self-esteem boosts and it goes to a whole
But
nother level.
that's also like it's proven because when you're working out, like your body's releasing I forgot what it is, but it's releasing something. I think endorphins.
It's releasing
Not endorphins.
something.
It's releasing something. Like
I
when you're
don't know
working
what
out.
it's releasing, but I know it's releasing something.
It's releasing something. I forgot all the science words. I forgot. It's not endorphins. I don't think it is. It might be. I can't remember right at this exact
You
moment.
say it's releasing orphans? What?
No, endorphins.
Whoa.
I can't remember.
I know
I
what
can't
you're talking
remember.
about, though, Rella. I know.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Whatever it
And it's
releases,
just,
like
it
makes you feel good.
You feel
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
And then
Like
it's just
serotonin.
when you feel good when you put your clothes on, bruh, and you feel the results, bruh. Your clothes fit better on you. You look good, like you feel good. You throw your cologne, you smell good, bruh. It's not even that hard. And if you don't
I
even
can't.
have to do some high intense workout stuff, just do something simple.
Right.
Go for a jog. That's going for a jog is better than doing absolutely nothing. It just is. Doing
No,
like
because
50 push-ups.
that's why I like even though because I keep saying I'm gonna start exercising. I just
Come
I
on,
be lazy.
Terrell.
So you gonna start
I be
lying.
lazy with it, yo. I be lazy with it, and then like I be copping out like the last second.
Man, bro, I ain't even mad at you, man. Cause I'll do my workouts and I'll try to do like some high intensity workouts, but some days it do be feeling like I really don't feel like doing it. I don't.
And
I really
so
don't.
that's why I like going like walking my dog because at least like walking my dog, I'm doing something. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's not much, because just walking isn't much, but it's still something. You know what I'm saying?
It's something.
And it's still like it gives you at least some type of like relaxation in a sense. Because like walking my dog is like peaceful. It's peaceful, and that's what a lot of people say too about working out. Some people they really just like being with themselves, working out, and all that other stuff.
All I gotta say is walking my dog isn't peaceful. That boy be going crazy.
Yeah, be
I
like
mean,
that
my
shit.
dog too. My dog be doing that stuff too. As long as there ain't nobody outside. As long as there's nobody outside, it's a peaceful walk, yo.
No, it's never peaceful for me. That's not my workout time. That's not my workout time.
That's duty time. Like,
Yes. It's a responsibility.
But we got for so for number 6, it says he has a secure attachment style. And so basically it's talking about how like he's able to be vulnerable, but he's not like, extremely attached to his significant other or anybody in general. And like this is also very important too, because I I fell short of this a lot in my relationships, bro. When I had my partner, I was like, I wanted to be glued to my partner. I
Yeah,
did.
it's real
And I
easy
didn't
to
want
be
to
too attached and you not know it.
exactly. And I didn't even want to like do anything by myself. Like, I wanted my partner by my side all the time. And so like, and this goes back to what we were talking about before, but once you figure out how to work everything on your own, bro, and you do everything on your own and you're completely comfortable with doing everything on your own, you realize, bro, you don't need to have somebody else. Like before,
Mm-mm.
like I used to be like so fixated on like I'm like, yo, I need a girl bad, bro. I need a girl. I need to be in a relationship. I can't be doing this. A single life ain't for me. I need to be. But then I got to a point, bro, where to be honest with you, I really don't want a relationship at this moment in my life. I don't.
Mhm.
I truly don't want a relationship. I don't want it. I definitely don't need it. And it's like sometimes I might be capping myself. I'll be like, yo, I don't think I ever want a relationship because a single life sometimes, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Not having to answer to anybody, not worried about somebody cheating on you. I sleep good at night knowing I ain't got to worry about somebody
Hey,
cheating on
yo.
me. Only person that can cheat on me is me.
Hey,
Shoot.
Cause I tell
yo.
you what, that shit will plague your fucking mind like a disease, man. That is not
Where's she at right now?
okay.
Where is she? I need to make sure she's okay.
That
So I
shit
text her
will.
at 3:00. It's 3:02. She ain't respond. She ain't read my
She would've
message.
Okay, bro. I used to be like
She
that. I
would've
used to
never
be like that, bro.
That shit will
Oh,
plague
yeah.
your mind. And you see, that's
Back
why.
blown out. He digging out her guts.
That's why I be taking so long to respond. Cause I just don't even be looking at my phone no more, yo.
Mm-mm.
I don't even look no more.
Y'all ever see them memes, bro? Where like they'll be like texting back and forth the guy and the girl, and
Yes,
I
I
know
love
what
those
you're
memes,
talking
bro.
about. I know what you're talking about. One of them like, the dude was like, hey, yo, where you at? She was like, out here. She was like, stop playing. Where you at? Out. Okay, where? Chair. I was like, yo, is she doing that to you, bro? You gotta go somewhere. I'm sorry. You gotta go somewhere, bro. Mm, 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 mm.
But yeah,
But
we were talking about being vulnerable, right?
we're being talk about being vulnerable.
Yeah, that's definitely important for real. I mean, that kind of goes back to, I mean, not just emotionally vulnerable, like being vulnerable, like in general to your partner, because like that's like, I mean, that's a big step. And that just shows that like kind of like you trust them, being vulnerable like to them, like emotionally, physically, socially. But like you guys said before, like don't stay too attached because then I'm pretty sure anybody's gonna get sick of that. I mean, it depends on the person, but keep it 100. Like,
Some
niggas
people
gonna get
like
sick of
that.
it. Yeah, some people
They
do
do
like
like
that.
that. They do. Because they feel like somebody needs them.
Yeah, shit. Yeah. So, but yeah, definitely make sure you're making sure that you're vulnerable to your partner in a relationship aspect is important, but making sure you're vulnerable in like in general to anything. So like if you wanna like, I don't know, get a new job or like be in a different workspace environment, making sure that you're vulnerable to that setting can definitely help you. So I don't know if that made sense, but
I get
it
what
made
you're
sense.
saying. I get what you're
I get
saying.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, so for number 7, we got he knows power dynamics. And so basically this is just like, you know, so being a high value man, you're not too much of a nice guy, but at the same time, you have a balance of like not being a complete asshole. So you have like you balance, both of the aspects. You know what you can take, and you know what you how to talk to people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so you know how to handle certain things, and you know what I'm saying, what to say and what not to say. So this is emotional intelligence as well. You're in control of what's happening. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I gotta work on that one.
So
Y'all
you
already know I
basically
gotta work on
saying
that
the
one.
difference. So basically, in between and just not being a simp and not being a dickhead.
Right, exactly. So a
Yeah.
balance of it. And
Shoot.
most, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Main man who me and Lo got an issue with, bro. I saw his story the other day. Man's had some black Air Forces on, bro. I said,
Hey
oh,
yo.
you should have seen the signs. I ain't see the whole Air Force. I saw the tips of them. I was like, oh nah, bro. That's the whole issue.
Hey,
Fucking
yo.
That's
demon
the whole
time, bro.
issue.
But nah, I
I'm
mean,
not here for it.
I get why like you're supposed to have like both sides, like because you don't want people to like push you around or like abuse you, stuff like that. But like, I don't know. For me, I'm just a very forgiving person. Like, I think that's like,
But
I feel like,
but that's okay though. That's not.
yeah, right.
It's okay to forgive people, but at the same time, you don't necessarily have to give that person chance after chance after chance.
Right,
You
that's
can
true.
forgive you can be at peace with somebody, but just keeping them to the side, like keep
Right.
them at arm's length. You can do that. It's okay. But if somebody disrespectful, somebody come over your house and they're disrespectful, you can still be cool with that person, but you just can't come over my house again.
Right. You still got to slap the shit out of them before they can come back over.
Exactly.
Before they can come back over. No, I'm slapping shit on him and they can not coming back over. Fuck all that.
So that was a good one. Then we got number 8. He is honest to his own value system. And so basically it's like, they talk about don't get into a relationship if you just want to sleep around. Don't promise endless love if you don't plan on sticking around. Don't promise something, and then if you promise something, you will do your absolute best to make it happen. Don't just promise it and then half-ass it.
It's
Be a
kind
man
of funny,
of your
bro.
word.
I just keep saying this, but it's like it's almost a shame. It's like some of these things should just be like basic traits.
Everybody should
crazy.
be high value, low.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's what I'm
should be
saying.
high
It's
value.
real crazy how this shit is like it's high value nowadays when in reality everybody should do this shit. This is just something that you need to figure out over time. But I mean,
this human 101, like
right, like come on now, like y'all really don't know how to fucking just make yourself presentable. Brush your teeth, get up, do something nice for yourself. Not where I can some of them I can understand. The self-esteem thing is something that really does take some time to work on. But some of these traits, man, it's just I'm not saying they're not high value. I'm just saying it should be basic shit. It should be something that you do or at least work on. Period. This shouldn't be something that's so fucking niche that we have to talk about it and tell people. Motherfuckers should this should be something that like if you read a list, you should apply to something on the list. This isn't something. If you don't apply to a single fucking thing on this list, bro, what have you been doing?
Where you been at, bro?
I just every time you list off something on the list, like next after next, man, I just keep thinking it's like it's not hard to incorporate some of this shit into your life, or at least start working on it. So it's like, how do you get by doing nothing? How do you?
It's the laugh for me.
How do you reach a point in your life where you absolutely have done absolutely nothing on this list?
I have something to say.
Huh, Dom?
The recording stopped.
It's okay. I'm recording.
You recording it too?
Mm-hmm.
All right, good.
I did that just in case, bro. Yeah,
bro, he just came in clutch. Lo just came in
clutch. Yo, oh my gosh. Lord have mercy, Lo. You are my knight in shining armor.
Hey, y'all know I do it.
Yo, you pulled through.
Huh? What?
You pulled through. Oh my gosh. Lord have mercy. Okay. All right. Woo! Okay.
Just let me know. Just let me know when to stop.
All right. Okay. So that was number 8. We got number 9. Man, I feel better now. I just went down but up. Now we back. I just got revitalized. I don't even think that made sense. But let's get it.
Rejuvenated. Yeah.
Rejuvenated. There we go. I was down, but he hit me with the revive. He had number 9. He has a growth mindset. And so basically a fixed mindset are people who believe their qualities are set at birth and carved into stone.
Cap.
But growth mindset, people believe they can learn and grow. They seek learning and growth, and they believe that they can change their situation. You know, opportunity. Their situations don't define them, but they can learn. They learn how to control what they don't learn what to control what happens, but they know how to react and control their actions to make the best out of every situation that they're in.
Again,
Flo, you straight?
I'm not gonna name no names, but we know a few people that don't know how to grow.
Bro, come on, bro. Come on.
I'm just saying, you
Hey,
might
yo.
not hear this, but if you think it applies to you, it probably does. That's all I gotta say. I'm not gonna say nothing else. If you think this should apply to you and you feel hurt by what I'm saying, it probably does apply to you.
So
We talking about you.
Now,
Listen, it's
Now,
okay. It's okay. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect.
No.
It's okay.
But again, how the
But we
fuck do
gotta
you make
work.
it through life not feeling like you can grow? That shit doesn't make sense.
We gotta work at it. We do. But Rella, what were you about to say? Go ahead.
All right.
All right.
It's
okay,
okay.
give me one second.
Yo.
But nah, bro. Like,
I had to mute myself for a second. I'm sorry, I had to mute myself real quick.
It's okay.
Alright.
It's okay.
So, what I was gonna say for that, right? Because I know some people like that at work again, like, cause it hit me the other day because, it was two of my coworkers. I can't say who they are, but um, one of them. Well, I'm not sure about the other one, but I know one of them is in a game.
Oh.
And oh yeah,
Oh, okay. So what?
That's why
Let
let
me
me
stop.
having all that crate, man.
But when he was talking, like my other coworker who was talking to him, she was like, so like, cause she's older than him, and she's been through that life too and everything. And she was like, sure, I was having fun when I was doing that stuff at like 20, but like once I realized what's better out there, that's when she made her life turn around. And he was like, nah, I'm gonna be doing this for life, all this other stuff. And I was like, so you don't think like? And sometimes I look at some people that work like that too,
Right.
but I was like, you really don't think there's life beyond doing
Nah.
this? You know what I'm saying?
Like, not
Right.
only is that like a sad mindset to have, like you should always feel like you can grow out of a situation. It's okay if you feel stuck, but if you're not
Mhm.
doing anything to help yourself get out of it or prevent it from being worse, then like that's or you feel like you can live like in that setting forever. That's childish mindset.
The sad part about that is, though, Lo, I know adults who think like that.
Yeah.
I can name
Oh
5.
yeah. There are adults who don't even apply to half this shit on a fucking list.
Like grown ass men, bro.
Grown ass man. And it's crazy.
Like-
It's crazy to see it because it's like, damn, you really grown, yet somehow I act more mature than you.
Like niggas who think that they're perfect or like they got it all figured out, they reached all their goals, but still have so much work to do, but they don't want to acknowledge that and they don't want to grow anymore. They're just like, all right, I'm
Real
done.
fucking crazy. I don't give a fuck, yo. I'm growing till I die.
RDC World, Mark said, I don't want to be perfect because if I'm perfect, then I have nothing to work on.
Exactly.
So that's why I want to keep growing every single day. And that's stuck with me. And it's just like, it's okay to complain. It's okay to invent. You should not invent, vent. It's okay to do that. It's okay to get stuff off your chest. It's good. Do that. And it's you sad, upset, disappointed, mad. It's okay to do that. It's okay to be that. It's okay to have these feelings. We weren't just built with just happy and then mad. Like we have more feelings than that. But the thing about it is like it's a lot of people, and especially in our community, it's a lot of people who want to blame their shortcomings on stuff that is just completely either irrelevant
Right.
or stuff that they can change.
Right.
Like there's a lot of things that you can change. There's a difference between being broke and poor. Broke is temporary. Poor, that's a mindset.
Now listen.
She said,
There's
"Now listen."
there are some other aspects that contribute to poverty. Now we're not going.
There are that no, and that's why I'm saying there are other aspects that attribute to poverty, but everybody that's poor shouldn't be poor. I'm not saying every single person that's poor, but I'm saying like a lot of people who are poor, they don't have to be poor, but they decide to be that way.
No,
They don't
I
really
think
have to.
no. I kind of have to like agree with him on this one because maybe I kind of agree with that on the broke side and not necessarily with like being poor.
Like you don't want to get a
not
job?
poor.
You don't want to get a job?
I
What you
mean,
think's gonna happen if you don't want to get a job?
You like,
What you think's
you
gonna
could-
happen if
yeah,
you don't want
right.
to
I
work?
agree with the term broke, but not poor.
But
Broke.
poor? Most let me put it to you like this.
Right? Talk to me.
If a lot like I can be poor or wealthy if I want to. I'm not saying everybody has that luxury. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Now I'm very
Mhm.
fortunate. We all are very
Right,
fortunate.
right.
Okay.
Mhm.
But us as a group, we really
Hey, yo, you
we have the
lagging?
decision to if we want to be I'm lagging. Am I still lagging?
Look,
No.
no.
He was just lagging
alright.
on mine for a couple seconds.
But
Alright.
we have the decision right now. What we do right now can decide we're gonna be poor or broke in the future. Now there are a lot of things that can happen, right? But if we do what we're supposed to, like we can decrease the chances of us being poor
Okay.
in the future.
Okay.
Let me just put it like that.
All right.
We can do that. Now, and like I said, a lot of people, there's different circumstances for everybody. I do understand that. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, nobody should be poor. I'm not saying that at all. But a lot of people are poor because of bad life decisions. They are. And it's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that just plays into it. You know, I'm not even gonna
Mhm.
lie to you. You know, and this is a whole different other thing, but people having babies before they have their own place.
Oh, he coming for next.
You gotta understand it. You living with your mom. That's a decision that you can make.
Mm.
You getting a place with your significant other before y'all are married. That plays a part into it.
Coming for wigs.
You know what I'm saying? Graduating school. That plays a part into it.
Yikes.
Not even college.
So
in
you
high
stacked it with.
but in high school in general, that plays a part. You don't even necessarily need to get a college education,
Yeah.
but just having a job, that plays a part, bro. It's a lot of things that play. Being in debt, that plays a part into it, bro.
Now listen, we heard you. Okay, you don't have to come for these necks like that. We
But
heard you.
I'm saying it's like it's a lot of decisions. I'm not saying everybody. I understand some things happen. You know what I'm saying? You could get laid off. Somebody could die in your family or something. And a lot of things can stem from that, or just other things in general that are out of your control. I get it. I understand. But the people that are able to control what is happening in their lives, it's their job to decrease the amount of people that are poor. Let's just say fake poor, because they don't really have to be poor, or they didn't have to be poor. So when they get wealthy, or they get rid of all their debt and they do what they need to do and they're on their stuff, they can help the people that are poor. They can donate to the people that are. They can help the other people out that are just less fortunate, because there's a lot of fortunate people but aren't using their talents or doing what they need to be doing, so they're stuck.
Okay.
But it's a lot of decision making, and that's why it goes back to growth mindset or fixed mindset. If you believe you're broke, and if say your family is broke and you came from a broke family, you don't necessarily have to stay like that if you want to. You don't have to be a part of that generational curse. You don't have to.
Right. Okay.
And so number 10, final one, he takes responsibility.
Again, bro, what the like? I'm tired of this list, bro.
He takes responsibility of his actions, man. You gotta own up.
Who you know, Angelo? Who you know, yo?
I'm not even naming nobody at this point. I'm just saying, like, being responsible and taking responsibility should be something people our age should already do.
People
Facts.
don't like to take responsibility,
Sure, I can
especially for
just say that.
especially for things that have like bad circumstances surrounding it, and they know
Right.
it's their fault. They'll find every way possible to say it wasn't their fault, but you were the starter of it all.
I can
I've
name some
learned,
names.
like, responsibility. I'm gonna try and be as responsible as I can, and if I fuck up, I'm gonna take the responsibility of trying to do better next time. It's as simple as that.
Right. That's just mature. That's not even something of a high value man or woman. That's just mature.
If you can't do
Exactly.
that, fuck everything else. I don't want you.
Right. And just be accountable for yourself, bruh. Be accountable for the things that you do. Like,
Mhm.
don't just sit there and blame other people. You
If
keep
you fuck
blaming
up,
other
own to it.
people. Right, exactly. You blame other people on every single thing that happens in your life, bruh. That means other people have control of your life. That means you don't have no control in your life. You don't got no control. That you ain't got no chance. You really don't. You asked out. There's nothing you can do if you don't have some sort of control. Control
Right.
what you can, but don't focus on the things that you can't control. Focus on what you can. And that's the issue with people. They want to worry about things. And that's where I'm not going to say all of it. That's where a lot of anxiety and depression comes from because we worry about the things that we have no control over.
Yeah,
But
that
once
is
you
true.
only worry about the things that you have control over and just accept things for what they are, I'm telling you, your life will be different. I
Yes,
promise
Pastor.
you. I promise
Yes.
you, it's going to be so much
And
different.
a lot of this shit is easier said than done, but as long as you're working on it, that's better than just sitting there stagnant,
Exactly.
not
That's
doing
better
anything.
Don't
than
just
not
sit
doing
there and
nothing at
just
all.
don't work on it at all.
Yeah.
Like it's a process. It is a process. You got to go through. Shoot, I'm working on this process heavy, and I've been working on this for about a solid year, and I'm still working on it. And I'm never gonna be done working on it. I had a lot of. I don't typically certain situations. I don't have like anxiety, but
Mhm.
when I realize when my anxiety is highest when I haven't prepared with a lot of
Mm.
Yeah,
preparation, and
always
I
like
6
don't
that.
P's
have
to
confidence in
success.
the product that I'm presenting. Like when it comes to like I realized this specifically when I had a presentation for class. When I put my all into a presentation for class, I have no anxiety for it because I'm like, yo, this the shit. I don't care what anybody up in this class got to say. I know I did my thing. I'm gonna let the chips fall where they may. But if I half-assed that project and I did it the day before, you better
I'm
believe I'm
like,
gonna be walking up
hey
there
yo, can I go
sweating
last?
things.
Hey yo, you trying to
Can
go
I go
before me?
last? Exactly, bruh. And that's what I'm saying. It's just if you imagine yourself as a product, you have to put the best product out there on the market in front of other people. Don't
Mhm.
don't put a half-ass product out and try to give it to somebody and wonder
Mhm.
why that situation doesn't work out. Don't do that. You got to give them the best you that you can possibly give them. And if you do that, I promise you, your life will be different. It will change. You will see results. I can assure you. But you got to do the work. It's not easy, but you got to do the work.
Right.
But it's better than just being a bum. It really is. It's better than just sitting there and saying, "Oh, why won't girls love me? Why won't people love me? Why
This
won't
guy. This guy.
It's better than tripping over stuff that you have no control over.
That's
And I
true.
can assure you of that. And so for the last final segment before we leave, why is it important to be a high value man?
I mean,
I
you basically
mean,
kind of just said it, bro. That you don't want to be a. I mean, one, not just being a bum, bro. Like to be successful in all areas and all aspects of life that you want to be. If you want to get that job that you want to get, if you want to grab that dream girl that you've been always been dreaming about since you was a kid, or like if you want to be in a comfortable place in life, or in a place where you feel like, well, I'm successful, but I still got a lot of growing to do, or like you're just I don't know, not like successful. I feel like that's not really what I want to say, but like just find a place where if you want to succeed in wherever you want to be, bro. Like being high value is will help you, bro. Like that's why you need to be high value.
Being high value is what leads you to know your own self worth, and that is very important for somebody. Especially that will help out the self esteem. And most of these traits, again, just show maturity. It just shows like how far you've come as a person. Period. No matter what point of life you're in. You could be 18, you could be 32. And I mean, if you apply to something on this list, or you're working and growing on multiple things in the list, that just shows that you're trying to be more mature than a lot of other people that haven't worked on a single thing on this list. Like, a lot of this shit should be basic, so it's like, but a lot of people don't get it. And if you get it, you're putting yourself ahead of the curve way more than just sitting there stagnant.
Exactly.
It's very important.
Yeah. I agree with both of y'all, because I really do agree that just being a high value man in general, like you said, you're working towards something. You're working on bettering yourself at the end of the day, and you're constantly doing that. But you're still reaching your goals. You know what I'm saying? You're still reaching your goals. You're still doing what you want to do, but you know in the back of your head, I can do better. I'm gonna keep on trying to better myself. It's almost like perfecting your craft.
And you are your craft. That's the thing. You are your craft. And you want to put your best product out there. Don't put nothing out there that's half baked. Don't do that. Give it your best shot. Listen, it ain't gonna be easy. Life is a bumpy road. It is. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna have some challenges in the way. You know what I'm saying? But you can overcome anything. I ain't gonna say you can overcome anything, but you overcome a lot of things that were put in front of you. And one pathway gets blocked off by a challenge that you just simply can't overcome. It's okay. You could just take a turn, start over, do something else, find something that works, but don't just sit there and stay there and stuck.
That's not the end.
Some of the shit you learn through trial and error, but as long as you learn it and become better because of the failures that you made, and it eventually leads you to be successful. Like, in middle school when I didn't do a fucking project and I went up there and I still had to get up there, or I had to tell a teacher, I didn't do it, you feel ashamed. So I learned after that, from that point on, man, I'm not only am I going to do my project, but I'm going to put some actual time into it and not try and bust my ass in the last day and do it. And ever since then, when I go up to present a project that I did well, I'm never afraid to do that shit. Even though I have anxiety for other reasons, whenever I feel like I did really well in something, I don't have fear in presenting.
Exactly.
And it's been like that ever since.
And number one thing of it all, bruh, enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. Listen, have fun with it. Whatever you're doing, have fun with it, bro. Make the absolute best out of every situation. Have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Peace, love, positivity, all that. Enjoy yourself when you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? The 20s is a grind, but have fun while you're doing it, bro, because you ain't never gonna get the 20s back, man. But as we close the podcast, you know what I'm saying, this was a good one. High value men. It's your boy Dizzy. We had Low, who came in clutch. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shout out to Low. He came in clutch. We got Rello, we got Mos, and it's your boys, and we are signing out.